The final solution. In January 1942, senior Nazi officials met at the Wannsee Conference, where they formalized the final solution to the Jewish question. This plan called for the systematic and industrialized extermination of all Jews in Europe. The Nazis expanded their use of death camps and gas chambers, making the genocide more efficient and widespread. The final solution was carried out with terrifying precision. Jews from across Europe were rounded up, deported to concentration camps, and subjected to unspeakable horrors. The scale of the genocide grew as millions of people were murdered in the gas chambers, shot by Einsatzgruppen, or worked to death in labor camps. The Nazis used trains to transport their victims, and the process of deportation was carried out with chilling organization and efficiency. In addition to Jews, other targeted groups included Roma, disabled individuals, Polish and Soviet prisoners of war, political dissidents, and even some religious minorities, such as Jehovah's Witnesses. The total number of victims of the Holocaust is estimated to be around 6 million Jews, though the true number may never be known. Resistance and survival. Despite the overwhelming odds, acts of resistance did occur, both within the concentration camps and in occupied territories. Some prisoners managed to escape from the camps, and others fought back against the Nazis, even in small ways. In some instances, uprisings took place in the camps, such as the 1943 revolt at the Sobibor extermination camp. Jewish partisans in Eastern Europe fought against Nazi forces, sabotaging military operations and aiding other Jews in escaping. One of the most well-known instances of resistance was the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in 1943, when Jewish residents of the ghetto in Warsaw, Poland, fought back against the Nazis in an attempt to prevent their deportation to extermination camps. Although the uprising was ultimately crushed, it became a symbol of courage and defiance in the face of overwhelming oppression. In the midst of the horror, there were also those who risked their lives to help Jews. Ordinary people, often referred to as righteous among the nations, hid Jews in their homes, provided false documents, and smuggled them out of Nazi-controlled territories. Their bravery and compassion saved countless lives. The end of the Holocaust. As the war turned against the Nazis and Allied forces advanced on all fronts, the fate of the Holocaust victims took a new turn. In 1944 and 1945, as Soviet and Allied forces liberated the concentration camps, they discovered the full extent of the atrocities. The survivors were found in a state of near starvation, their bodies emaciated and their spirits broken. Many had lost their entire families, and those who survived often carried the scars, both physical and emotional, of their experiences for the rest of their lives. In May 1945, Nazi Germany surrendered to the Allies, bringing an end to World War II and the Holocaust. The world was left to grapple with the scale of the destruction and the unfathomable loss of life. The Nuremberg trials were held to prosecute Nazi war criminals, though many of those responsible for the atrocities escaped justice. Remembering the past, the Holocaust is not just a tragedy for the Jewish people. It is a tragedy for all of humanity. It is a reminder of the consequences of unchecked hatred and the dangers of ideologies that seek to dehumanize others. As survivors of the Holocaust aged, the world was faced with the challenge of keeping their memories alive. Holocaust survivors became witnesses to the horrors of the past, sharing their stories in schools, museums, and public forums, ensuring that future generations would never forget the lessons of the Holocaust. Today, Holocaust education continues to play a critical role in the fight against hate discrimination, and anti-Semitism. Memorials, museums, and documentaries preserve the stories of the survivors, while commemorations such as International Holocaust Remembrance Day serve as opportunities for reflection. However, as time passes, it is increasingly important that the world continues to honor the victims and educate new generations about the Holocaust so that its horrors are never repeated. The Holocaust is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, but it is also a chilling reminder of the capacity for cruelty and violence when humanity allows itself to be consumed by hatred. Remembering the Holocaust is not just about remembering the past. It is about preventing such a tragedy from ever happening again. Conclusion. The Holocaust stands as an indelible chapter in the history of the 20th century. Its legacy continues to shape our world today as we confront issues of prejudice, intolerance, and human rights. As we remember the victims, we are reminded of the fragility of peace and the importance of guarding against hatred in all its forms. By remembering the past, we honor those who perished and ensure that their stories and the lessons of the Holocaust are never forgotten.